So you all know why you're here. So without any further ado, let's bring him out. Please welcome the star of Detroit Rock City, Superman Returns, and Fanboys, and your favorite neurotic vampire on the
werewolf
show, Inhuman.
Werewolf! Yes!
Where should I sit? Someone let me first sit.
Actually, right in the middle. Sit right in the middle. Right on the left. Hi, guys, you can't? Can you see better now? Hi, honey. Here.
Am I close enough to the mic? Can you guys hear me?
All right. Look at how many of you guys showed up. You're crazy. It's bedtime. I probably don't even need. I speak really loud, so you can probably hear me.
Yeah.
All right, cool. Hey guys, did I meet all of you today?
Yeah.
Yes, a lot of you I recognize. No. Well, I'm sorry. No, I'm sorry. Honey, I can't. I'll just keep doing this. I'm sorry. Great. Now I know, good to know there's children in the audience, though. It's bedtime, by the way, young lady. It's Friday. That's right. Fair enough. Fair enough.
So Sam, how do you like the film so far?
So far, so good. It's great. You guys are super nice. Yeah, I had fun talking to all you guys today, and it's a very clean convention. I love being in Chicago. I really wish I got to see more of it. I've never been here. It was a city that has always been a priority to me to come to, so I'm really, really thrilled to be here. I wish I could do more.
Sweet. So is this your first official con, or have you done others in the past?
No, I've done a bunch. Oh, booger?
No.
Oh, okay. That's a better thing. I thought you were like, Sam, you have a...
I'll let you know.
Okay, good. I've done a bunch of these things. And I just enjoy them so much. It's always such a treat to, because you work... I shoot my show up in Montreal. Really, anytime you make any kind of television show or movie, you're so in the world of the movie or the show that you don't really get to sit and talk to the people who actually watch the stuff. So it's nice for me to actually come and see that people, it's true, people actually do watch the stuff that I do. So, I'd say a good 60% of the time, people are okay. I'm kidding. It's always so amazing to meet such genuinely sweet, wonderful people, so it's great. And I say that very honestly, for once in my life.
So when you were first approached with the chance to play Josh, the werewolf in
Yes.
this version, were you at all familiar?
Yeah, no kidding. This is awful.
Here, let's start back.
It's hurting.
Can you all hear me?
I don't know if it's you or if it's me.
It's
we
probably
should just turn it off.
It's too
It's probably.
because all four of them are on.
Yeah,
Let's turn it on. But were you at all familiar with the original British?
I was not. I wasn't even. I'm ashamed to say I wasn't even aware it was a series when I first was approached to really to audition for this. And I just thought, wow, what an interesting piece of material, what a great script, and it has such amazing potential, and the character is so rich and so great. And that anytime a great piece of material comes across my desk, I say desk, it really just means my couch. I always instantly think, well, this is really great. There's no way I'm going to get it, and that was the case with this, and it was a long process getting this job. Actually, it was months and lots of auditions, and it was really important to sci-fi to get the right guy, and I respect that, and so yeah, it was a lot of meetings and a lot of meeting people and proving my worth. And so when I finally did, when it actually did come to fruition, it was a huge win, and And man, it's bizarre. Here we are 3 years later, going into a fourth, which is so cool. And I still feel, thank you. Thank you, Todd. And I still feel as lucky as ever to be a part of it, so it's really cool.
Awesome. Yeah. So, were you a fan of horror, of monster movies?
Oh yeah, yeah, as much as any guy. I'm a fan of cinema and entertainment, and so anything that kind of grips onto me, I'm a fan of, and definitely the genre, the horror genre, is way up there for me. So, and this isn't really a horror show, you know. It's there's definitely elements, and I have a feeling that it's going to be. Brace yourself, season 4 is going to be scary. Yeah. That's a little bit of a spoiler for you. Pardon?
So do you take your shirt off more?
Actually, I probably will this year. That's super fun, by the way. Yeah.
What they want, right?
What's that?
Give the people what they want.
Yeah, right. Just a flubby guy. But yeah, it's just gonna be. It's true. It's just gonna be like, you know, just being in the gym the whole year, which is kind of like, this is why I'm psyched to be in Chicago now, because I'm gonna eat so much goddamn pizza. I'm just gonna load up. That's where I'm going, and I'm psyched, and I'm just gonna eat it all. So I'm sorry if there's none left by the time I leave, because I was here, and leave my friggin' mark on this city, damn it. And yeah, so it's gonna be a. Where was I? What the hell was I talking about? Scary. The scary, yeah, it's gonna be scary. And there's one like, and I can't tell you obviously what it is, but I just had a conversation with our showrunner Anna Fricke yesterday that was very exciting, and there's one big element of the season that I'm very excited about that I think is going to contribute to that the horror factor in a big way. So. And I can't tell you guys what it is. But there's that. That's fun, right?
Yeah. We'll all be watching, so.
Okay, good.
Now, I've had a chance to catch up with the show via Netflix.
Yeah.
And I gotta say, Josh, the werewolf, is probably my favorite character on the show.
Thanks, man.
And audience,
you don't have to. It's fine.
And I think what I like most about Josh was the fact that he is probably the most relatable character on the show.
Yeah.
And has probably has a problem that really no one can relate to on the surface, but it brings a lot of deeper issues, psychological issues up. And I guess that probably says a lot about my psyche that I have so relatable.
You're a crazy bastard. It shows.
Don't be around me during the full moon. So, but was there something that you? Not to get too personal, but was there any sort of personal things that you sort of pulled from your own life to sort of create that character on the screen?
Well, I'm a generally. And I don't know if it shows or not, but I'm a very nervous guy, and I stress about a lot of stuff, and it doesn't take much to stress me out, and kind of a hypochondriac, and yeah, super fun, living in here, awesome, and I think that Josh is very similar. I think he's, he just is. And I think if I was a werewolf, if Sam was a werewolf, I would be very much like Josh, in that I would kind of probably be afraid of what I am, and want to hide it, and hate myself for the potential terror that I could bring upon people, and so the other thing is, I think he looks at it, or at least he did in season 1, and a lot of season 2, as a disease. Something he loathed about himself and had to hide because it was an embarrassing facet of him, and I think there's a lot. Most of us have something that, maybe there's some wonderful person out there that has no neuroses or anything that they want to hide about themselves. Bravo, by the way, if that's you. But everyone carries around something that they're ashamed of or scared to show everyone. Self-conscious people. It's in our nature. So,
and it really adds a, no pun intended, human edge.
Yeah, it does. Yeah, absolutely. All our afflictions are just metaphors for human conditions that we care. AIDS and addict, or the troubled past. Sally, especially in season 1, was a girl who'd been neglected and abused, and I think that that's something that's really relatable. And Josh is a guy who's carrying around this disease, and I think that those are, those are extraordinary metaphors. And I think, that was the intention of the show. When it was started in the UK, I think that was the intention of their show, and I think it's the intention of our show. I think both series do a really nice job of conveying that, and I also think that if you stripped away the supernatural elements of the shows, that the show would probably still work. I think if we were just people struggling with these afflictions, and we weren't a ghost, vampire, and werewolf, I think the show would still sing, if you will.
Yeah, it's now speaking of the UK show.
Yeah.
And now that show has ended.
Yep.
And it's made
Good riddance. That thing all about. I'm just kidding, by the way. It's great.
But and this may not be something that you maybe at liberty to share, but has there been any talk amongst the producers
Crossovers?
to, well, not so much crossover, but to bring the writers from some of the writers from the British version over
No.
to sort of adapt?
It's an interesting question.
Yeah.
No, we have wonderful writers. We have an amazing writers' room and a wonderful showrunner. And honestly, our show is a completely different thing now. It's a totally different show. It actually started being a different show at the end of season 2, at the end of season 1, and our writers don't watch the BBC series. I feel like it would be really harmful to our show to have anyone from the BBC series on. Not because they're I should just put it on. But there was, we never intended to make a carbon copy of their show, because what's the fun in that? Just remaking a series that's still on the air, like that just seems like. Would you go watch their show? So our writers don't even watch that show because they don't want any crossover that there is. Is unintentional. It's strictly coincidental. So.
Okay. All right. So, working in TV for the last 3 seasons now, going on to the 4th, you of course got your start, or at least became the public became aware of you in films at a very early age.
Yeah.
You became a film actor.
Yes.
How different do you find working in TV compared to working in film, and which do you prefer? They are quite different.
Making a film is wonderful. It's like summer camp. You go in and you're like, hey, I'm going to become really, really close with these people, and then I might save 1 or 2 of them as friends, but this is probably the last time I'll see all these people. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it's wonderful because you get to start and finish something, and that's something that you don't really get in television. Someday I hope to actually that writers get to actually write to an end of this series, so we can have some closure, and that's a rare, wonderful thing in television. That it's like, okay, this is the final chapter of this show. But yeah, that's the nice thing about movies, you're like, okay, I can read this entire project, know exactly where the story's going, so at every point you can be like, this is where I'm at, this is emotionally where I need to be to get to the next point, and so on and so forth. And it's also fun to, play a bunch of different characters. That's also really fun, It's like, you're just like, all right, I'm just going to spend 3 months on this film, and then I get to do the next thing and be a completely different person. That's also, on the other side of it, what's lovely about television is you get to really, really dive into a character. I've loved playing Josh, and I've loved watching him develop as a character and a person, and helping to form that, instruct that, and it's been an absolute joy. And I just, once again, I feel really lucky because he's such an interesting guy. you know. So they're just very different, and also I have a family, so television has been really the consistency of it, you know, just from a logistics standpoint it's been nice, you know, knowing where I'm gonna be, knowing that's also tough with a family with film. It's like, okay, I guess we're gonna be in Albuquerque for the next 2 months or this, you know, and so it's gonna be hard moving forward actually from this project, picking jobs, because it's all gonna be very location centric, you know, it's gonna be like, okay, this is where we're gonna be.
So it's a much different challenge.
It is, yeah. Wonderful. Both are wonderful. I hope to continue doing both. I don't, you know, I wouldn't say at this point that I'm like, yeah, I'm only gonna do TV or movies, because I enjoy both so much, and I'm really good at both of them. Really good. Yeah, you good.
Okay. Is it recording?
Oh, that's fantastic applause, I hope.
She said it's recording.
Yeah. Yeah.
So Sam, how did you, what's the story that kind of led you to pursue a career in acting?
You know, my mom was an actor, and a very, very talented one, and had a children's theater when I was a little boy that I used to sit in on, and you know, and also perform in on occasion, and so that was tremendous in kind of my growth. And then I started in theater, and then I actually did, you know, like 4 seasons of this wonderful little playhouse close to where I grew up, and worked with some amazingly talented people. And I think it was in those, I was young. I was like, I think I started when I was like 8 or 9 in that company, and that's what really like made me think, you know, okay, this is it for me. And that's amazing. You know, you don't really get that. You know, as a young person, it's so fortunate to be like, wow, okay, this is what I want to do for the rest of my life. I knew at 8 years old, I knew what I wanted to do. So.
Caught the bug at an early age.
Yeah. I don't really remember, even before I was an actor, I was always an actor. Phone keeps falling into my pocket. So it's been my whole life, and it's crazy to think that I've been acting in the entertainment industry for most of my life. It's crazy. It's crazy.
Crazy?
It's crazy. It's crazy. It's crazy. Oh yeah, it's wild. It's wild and crazy kids.
Like crazy?
Yeah. Wild and crazy kids. You know? It's the best. Yeah. Oh yeah. It's the best.
If given the chance to go back to theater in the future, would you take that on?
Absolutely, 100%. I hope soon. I actually want to go back to the playhouse that I performed at
getting the water
as a child, because it's so brilliant. And it's just during the summer, so it'd be nice to like go and do a show there. I really want to, because I actually, believe it or not, have horrible stage fright. It's easy to just kind of come up here and sit and talk to you guys, but to like actually perform in front of you, it's like, it scared the Jesus out of me. Yeah, no. And also being up here by myself, that's another terrifying thing. So. But you guys seem nice. Just talk to a bunch of friends.
Yeah.
That's it.
Crazy.
Yeah, crazy.
Who were some of your main influences growing up as an actor?
You know, there's just such great actors out there, man. There's so many brilliant actors, it would be a shame to just name 1 or 2. You know, I think because he was a young guy, when I was a young guy, knowing that I wanted to be an actor, I would say that Leonardo DiCaprio was like a...
Ooh, yay!
Yeah, on the spot, just say the name.
There you go. No, yeah, and the girls all just keel over. But yeah, I remember watching What's Eating Gilbert Grape when I was young, and watching him and being like, wow, that's a guy, that's somebody to watch out for, and that's somebody to aspire to. Now, I mean, I've got so many actors who I admire, and you know, it's what's cool about it is it's always changing. There's new people who come up and inspire me, and there's old films that I see where I'm like watching performance, I'm like, holy shit, that person is so talented, and that will inspire me, and so yeah, I mean, Man on Fire was on the other night. I was like, Dakota Fanning's unbelievable. So true, she's so good at that. You need a Band-Aid or something. things, it's bizarre to say, but like, it's true. Like, I was like, oh my God, she's so brilliant. I wasn't that good as a child. How does she do that? Anyway, she's crazy. Her and her sister.
So what has been your favorite role to play so far? Of all the roles that you've
That's a loaded question. You know, I've had a lot of fun being Josh, and I think that he's the most three-dimensional character I've ever played. It could be a product of the fact that I've just been him for so long, and I also feel like I've developed as an actor with him. But I got to say, like one of the coolest things that's ever happened in my career was playing Jimmy Olsen in Superman. That was next level. That was like one of those things where I got that job and it was like, all right, this is maybe the pinnacle of what I'll do in my life. Like I remember the first day on set. My costume fitting for that movie, like when I put the bow tie on, it was like, holy Jesus. And like, God, I'm a lifelong Superman fan. And, I walked into their department, I was still in LA, and we shot the movie in Australia, and I walked in and there's all the rubber templates for the crest, and there's all the material that they're going to use for the suit all laid out on this giant suit room this size, all laid out on these tables, the tape, and how they were dyeing everything. And I had Louis Mickenbach, the costume designer, showing me all these things and walking me through how they were going to do the belts and the boots, and I was seeing the boots, and I just started weeping. It was sad. I mean, it's true. Like, but you guys would too. Come on. And then I didn't even read a page until I got to Australia. And I got the script, and it was like, when I got the script, it was like another, like, just... And then I got on set. I remember the first day on set, before I even got on set to work, I got a tour of the stages and seeing, like, the capsule he comes to Earth on, and, like, the little crystals from the Fortress of Solitude. And I'm like, oh my Lord, like, it just was, like, too much. And like, sitting there at my first day, and, like, there's 30 set chairs all around they call it Video Village, which is where everybody sits to, like, watch what's happening on the screens. You guys probably know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
You roll the cameras and you just watch it on the screen. And there's literally, like, 13 giant monitors where you're, like, watching all the cameras, and there's, like, 30 set chairs, all with the blue Superman color with this red crest, and it was like, this is it. Like, this is like this might be the coolest thing I ever do. And then there was one other, and then I was there for 6 months, and it was just every single day was a new experience like that. And then I remember getting back to LA when they were in post and going and watching the whole orchestra perform the soundtrack perform the original John Williams score. And it was like, yeah, oh God, I'm almost trying. Careful. And it was just one step after the next. But so that was, I didn't get to do much in the film, but like as a job, that was like incredible. As far as a character goes, sorry, I'm just waxing on. It's unbelievable. She just said waxing off, if you can. It's a double meaning, isn't it? It's Karate Kid and also, sorry. You'll figure it out later. I think Josh has been probably the most rich character I've played, and I had such a good time playing. It's a challenge every day.
So,
how's that? That was a tangent. Holy shit.
So, what would you say would be your dream role? The kind of role that you have not had a chance to play, but would love for a chance to play someday?
If you had asked me that before Being Human, I would have, without knowing about Being Human, described Josh Levison. He provides for me everything that I creatively want and need. He's funny, and he's well-rounded, and he's thoughtful, and he's really interesting. And like I said, it's a challenge every single day. And that to me, like I want to challenge myself. I want to be put in positions where I'm uncomfortable, and I'm constantly uncomfortable. I'm like always naked. I'm always screaming, and as you can hear, like I've just been talking today. I lose my voice like. So anyway, yeah, I would have said that. Moving forward, I just want to do interesting projects. You know, I want to, and that's such a stupid answer. I can see myself doing a couple different things. I can see myself landing on like a really, really fun, funny half-hour comedy. Love that. Just a straight comedy would be super fun. I'd love to do some really interesting, gritty, independent films. I'd love to do a really, really scary horror movie. I've never done that. Although not a torture film, I hate that. Sorry. Looked like you had a rough night.
Saw 12.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, that stuff, like, it just grosses me out. I can't do it. But yeah, I mean, I don't know. Those could be kind of interesting.
Well, I know we'll all be waiting for the new season of Being Human to come out. Do you know when it starts airing? Or what?
Well, it'll be next January 2014, and we start shooting in July in Montreal. Yeah, I'm sorry. It's a huge bummer. Just rewatch season 3. It's good. It's good stuff. Or just go back and watch all my old work. Just tide you over. Yeah, watch all the young ones just on a loop. And then try and go to sleep. Thinking about giant spiders and little boys. That's not your thing. I hope it's not. Unless you're fine. Sorry. I'm sorry.
So, yeah, why don't we open the floor to any audience questions?
Wow.
Yes, sir.
You wins. Sorry, you guys are next, though.
I just wanted to know that as someone who's in TV, if you have spare time, what TV do you enjoy?
Good question. That's a great question. Walking Dead's my favorite show. Yeah, whammo. Bang. Can't get enough of that show. Gotta say I was disappointed by the finale, sorry. Disappointed. Just wanted more out of it. You know, I understand there's only so much they can do. I'll be right there. You're next. Sorry guys, she's little. We watch Mad Men. AMC. What else do we watch? We watch, Happy Endings. You guys watch Happy Endings? Yeah. I love that show. And it's like I feel like more people need to watch it, because I feel like it's like, all right, come on, guys, this is funny, please, watch it. Such talented people, and they're all my age, and I love them all, and they're amazing. What else do we watch? We watch Amazing Race. We watch but Walking Dead's my favorite show, for sure. Yeah. Oh, look, is that who you are? Yeah. Very nice. You're missing your consent. Maybe you have it, I don't know. Maybe that's what you did to her. I don't know.
Thank you.
Of course, man. Right? It's a pretty standard answer. What's up, babe? Let's do this. Ask away.
What's your favorite part about acting?
My favorite part about acting? Boy, that's a huge question. I like the fact that I like what I do, and that I get to go to work and do that. You know what I mean? I know that sounds really vague, but I feel like a lot of times, and listen, it's just a fact of life. You have to go to work and you do things that you don't really want to be doing all day. And for me, I have a lot of fun doing my job. And you know what? It's hard. And that's something else I really like about it. And I'm still learning. So that's, hey. So I really enjoy it. Does that answer your question? Kinda. I also, you know what else is really cool? When I was a little boy, I dreamed of being superheroes and werewolves and, all different people. I always thought that it would be fun to be like something, something like we all, I'm sure. We're at a comic book convention. And so I get to kind of do that. So that's kind of cool. I get to wear a lot of different hats. You? Do it.
When you got asked to be on Face Off, how was that experience?
Oh, that was cool. That was one of those things where we premiered at the same time as Face Off, and I've worn a lot of prosthetic makeup. I not only on Being Human, which is extremely extensive, but I did a show. Some of you may know about it. It was called Cavemen. I did this. And it was based on the Geico Cavemen. Yeah, we shot 13 episodes of the series. It's great. You can find it online. It was pretty fun. And so I had to wear heavy facial prosthetic and full body hair facial prosthetic every single day. And it was 3 hours to get into it. It was an hour at the end of the day to get out of it. So my days were like easy 19-hour days, like every single day. I remember there was 2 weeks where I didn't see my wife for 2 weeks, and because I would get home, she would be in bed, I would wake up, go to work, and she would still be in bed. She had a full-time job, like a really hard job, and so I've worn a lot of makeup. And so when that show came out, I remember I was at the sci-fi, I think it was the sci-fi announcements or something, and I talked to the president of the network. I was like, hey, you should have me on that show. I'd be really good at that show. And he said, yeah, that's a great idea. So literally I got a call, it was like a couple weeks later to be on it. And since then, I've become very close to Mackenzie Westmore, who's just the most dear, wonderful woman. By the way, she's amazing. She's just equal parts beautiful and nerdy and wonderful and sweet, and just like everything. Women are just want to be her. She's incredible. So she and I have become very tight, needless to say, because I'm really, something else. And so we've been talking about, I want to go back on it. I really want to go back on it. I had so much fun doing it.
Yeah, we love watching it, so.
Just my episode over and over again. But it was, it was a blast. It was so cool. So different than anything I'd ever done, too. That reality show situation is bizarre. Really, truly. It was bizarre. Sorry. Wait a minute, we had one other, no, go.
Okay. All right, thanks. Say no. 3-part. Here.
No.
What advice would you give to an aspiring actor?
You can't do it. It was like radiating off you as you were sitting there. Aspiring actor, okay.
The second part was, when are we going to get Jungle to Jungle 2? And 3 is, what other superheroes do you like, and what superhero movies would you like to be in? And either as the main character or a side character.
I was almost an X-Men. I know. The new one.
What happened?
By the way, I was almost in just about everything. The story of my career is like I was almost in everything. Oh man. Oh God. Look at you guys. Just a gaggle of that's what she says over here. Appropriate, well placed. You're wrong. I would say to aspiring actors, just before you do something crazy like move to LA, which is crazy, learn everything about acting that you can, and get feedback. Make sure that you're good. Yeah, like listen to people who tell you that you suck. You know what I mean? And then get better until they say that you're good. And I know that sounds crazy, but it's true. Like, there's so many people that move out west who are just like, have these giant aspirations and dreams, and then get out there and are crushed when they're told that it's not the right career choice for them. So, start in theater, get hired a few times, make sure that you have positive feedback and constructive feedback, and work on your craft. And then when the right person says, hey, you know what, you should make a go at this, still work more. And then when 20 of those people say, hey, you should really make a go at this, then maybe listen. Because I'll tell you what, 99% of what I do, and I'm sorry for the children because I see there's a baby over there, it's just getting kicked in the balls. Over and over and over and over again. And unless you've got some steel ones, you're not going to make it. And so that would be my thing. It's just learn what your craft, and get feedback before you do anything crazy. So that's the first thing. Second question that completely escapes me.
Well, the second one was
Jungle. So interesting. I have an almost 4-year-old son, and he's just a cinemaphile. Kid just can't get enough of movies. He's an extremely sharp guy. And I just recently had the bizarre experience of showing him Jungle the Jungle. And sitting there like watching him watch. And it was so beautiful. It was so amazing. By the way, just his big question was like, what? Wait, my father, he calls Pop, and it's like, wait, that guy's your dad? It's like, where's Pop? So like that, and as soon as he like figured out like what was going on, it's like become like his favorite movie. It's bizarre. Like he thinks Mimi Siku is like the coolest guy. He's obsessed with bows and arrows, so it's like, oh, yeah, I kind of get it. But and he keeps saying, yeah, I did a movie, Jungle 2, Jungle 3. And then he like goes on this long tangent about what it's about. I'm like, okay, well, maybe he's gonna be an actor. So maybe in 10 years you'll see Charlie Huntington. I'm not gonna push him in that direction. I don't know if his balls are steel yet. Gross. Yeah, I know. This question was a superhero question. I would love to have been Spider-Man.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah, no, for real. Spider-Man 2 was on the other night, and I just got stuck watching it, and I was like, I would have been really good. I would have been a really good Spider-Man. I was a gymnast.
I agree. I was looking at you, I was like, this dude could be Spider-Man.
I could have been Spider-Man. It's old now, but I could have been Spider-Man. And I could have been. When that first one came out, I would have been great. I think about that all the time. Yeah, I liked it. I didn't love it. I liked it. I wanted to love it. And maybe that was my problem going into it. I think Garfield's a great actor, and I love Emma Stone. I didn't like that they killed yeah, I like that.
Well, he was supposed
He was supposed to die. In the comic book, yeah.
Fine. Didn't though. I read
No.
Stacey Dodds. Okay, all right, fine. It was right. It's realized it's a quiz. But I would have liked to. That would have been a cool one. That would come out being Spider-Man would be great. But Tobey Maguire was great too. So. Wow, you're multiplying. I'm trying to figure out. You had your hand up very early. Sorry.
I'm sure this is a pressing question on everyone's mind. Why can't Josh see Sally?
Yeah, I keep getting that question. All right, here we go. Right? Remember when Nora? Wait, hold on. Remember season 1 when Josh scratches Nora?
Right.
You guys remember that?
Yeah.
Okay. until she turns into a werewolf, she can't see Sally. And then she walks in the front door, and she's like, oh my God, you're beautiful.
Good. That was good.
Oh my God, you're beautiful. So they were locked into that.
Yeah.
They were locked into that. I had the same question. I remember being like, wait, so okay, so I can see her now, that's cool. And they were like, no, you can't. Here's why. They were stuck. They were stuck with a plot device from the beginning of season 2? Yeah. So, that's why, damn it. I hadn't turned yet. So I will be able to see her, I hope. I mean, you know, you all saw me as a werewolf at the end of season 3, so. Yeah, it's pretty dope, right? Swoopy hair, Bieber. Female, he's a beautiful man. It's working, it's working.
What's your favorite movie? Oh.
What's your favorite one? What's your favorite what?
Favorite werewolf movie? Teen Wolf. I like pretended to think about it, but it's
He had some mad best.
yeah, he did. Joe.
Michael J. Fox.
Spider-Man.
Alright, so,
3-parter.
no, it's not.
Spider-Man.
The one thing I like about your character in the TV show is that he's loyal to a fault. And
Yeah.
That kind of like tears him apart in like the past few seasons. And I was just wondering, out of the 3 main characters, which one do you think has it the worst?
Well, I think Josh gives himself the hardest time, but I don't think he has it the worst. I think if he just like accepted who he was, he could live a relatively normal life, and I think he'll get there. I think he's on his way. That's a good question. Sally, maybe? He goes, yeah, she's dead. She can't eat, for Christ's sake. If I couldn't eat, can you imagine how miserable you'd be? Yeah, you can't do other things. Like you can't live. You're like there. You're just, you can't touch anything. You can't touch people. Touch is so important. Can't touch animals. Can't touch. See, now you're embarrassed. But yeah, she's got it the worst. It's just a good question. Good question. Yes.
As an actor, like, what are the best directions like the director can give you, like after a table read or during rehearsals and blocking to like get the best performance out of you?
I hate directors who are assholes. I feel like there's a lot of them out there who are like, I just need to browbeat this guy to get the performance out of him. That never works. It's not a good tactic. And there's a lot of them who believe that. We're like, I'm just going to beat this guy into submission and be really mean. And I feel like that's awful. That's the opposite side of it. I feel like being constructive and listening to me. No, but like instinct is a lot of it, right? With the director and an actor. So it's like if I'm making a choice, and it's the choice that I always like it when a director brings me something that hadn't occurred to me. That's very broad, but it's if that answers your question at all. Like if it's like, oh, not only is that an interesting choice for this character, but it's probably the right one. And then there's a lot of times where we're like, try this. We actually have it, yeah, anyway. It happened to me several times on Being Human where it's like, try this, and you're like, oh, okay, and you do it, and somebody falls in love with it, and then that's what gets shown, and that's a bummer. Because when you're like, I think I'm making the right choice, but he's the director, or she's the director. We've only actually had one female director. But I hope we have more, by the way, they're lovely. I just love working with women. But yeah, where you're like, oh, this might be the wrong choice. I'm going to do it anyway because I'm going to give them an option, and then and then we'll discuss it further after that. But anyway, point being, I really like when somebody says, it's like, hey, you know what, you've been doing this and it's great, we've got it, let's try this now, and you're like, oh, why didn't you bring me that earlier? That's such a great note. Like, and I'm very collaborative. I love a great director. I love when someone's smart and gets the story and gets the character, and it's got to be really hard, actually, for a TV director, especially on a series that's as long-standing as ours, to come on new and fresh, because we know the characters really well now, and so to bring us something original. It actually happened a few times this season. We had a new director who I thought was really worth the salt. But it's got to be really hard for them to be like, here's a note, and this is maybe something you've never thought of. It's like, well, no, I thought of that. It was wrong last season and the season before, and so anyway, does that answer your question? Sorry. All right, I'm sorry. Ow, look at all you guys. I'm coming to you guys last. What do you got there? Yes, please.
Oh, okay.
You're there.
I'm just wondering if you could tell us a funny story between you, Sam, and Megan, because you guys have a lot of chemistry.
Yeah. All we ever do is laugh, to the detriment of the crew and the process sometimes. It's bad. Kristen's right in there, too. Although she's usually just the one laughing, which is unfortunate. Or just being red-faced. Yeah, this season, when Sally finally dies, her corpse was laying there. And Megan was there. And it was an exact replica of Megan. Megan is like, she's several years younger than both Sam and I, and so she's very much like our little sister. Like, she never gets a break. And she's lucky that she's like extremely thick-skinned and also just as much of an a-hole as we are. She throws it right back at us, but we had an opportunity here. And we took it to really do horrible things to that dummy. And it actually, in fairness to us, it took us 6 hours to get there. We were all thinking it. It's like, it's Megan, and there's her body, and there she is. We could make her really uncomfortable. And it took us a really long time. We used a lot of restraint. And then finally Sam, I think, was the one who broke the ice and did something horrible, and then it just opened the door for, and then it just was like the whole crew. And I laughed so hard at some of the things Sam did to that thing. Oh my Lord. Because he always is this brute, I don't know if you guys have been on a panel with him or seen him, met him. Okay, he's very brooded. He's very he's not that guy. He puts that face on. That guy he's the biggest d-bag ever. He's nerdier than this entire our whole collective, and he's the funniest guy ever, and so outgoing and so outspoken and so boisterous and crazy. He's not that guy. So when he does stuff oh my God, when he did the things that he did, it was so funny. It was so funny.
I like how you're not describing.
Oh no, I'm not gonna tell you what he did. Just use your imagination. Yeah, there was a body laying there. Yeah, it is terrible. Oh, I could write a novel. Yeah. It happened. Anyway. Yes, your hand went up. The blonde in the back. You. Yes.
What do you like to nerd out to? Obviously there's a theme.
Nerd out to?
Superman and Star Wars.
Well, what's cool is my son is now at an age that he's nerding out on everything. He's the biggest Star Wars fan. It doesn't get bigger. And he's only he's not even 4. The kid is holy cow, dude, calm down. He's obsessed with Obi-Wan, completely obsessed. So that has rekindled in me my love for Star Wars. So Sam Whitwer and I just recently showed him for the first time. And it's he's obsessed because he's seen Clone Wars and stuff, but we just showed him A New Hope for the first time. And it was it was so epic. It was such an experience for me. It was just as big for me, perhaps, as watching Jungle to Jungle with him. It was watching New Hope with him. And we have like a whole order of how we're going to do it and how we're going to show it to him, and show him the whole series. And really with the goal of, by 2015, be ready for F7. Like, yeah. I'm not hating on F7. I'm not going to be that. I'm like so excited. Like, I'm so excited. I refuse to be a hater about that because it's going to be amazing. Damn it. It is. So that's kind of what I've been nerding about lately. So like I've got like I got some collectibles today. Yeah. So your money was spent well. You got put right back into the circulation.
Sam.
Yes.
I love the show.
Thank you.
I love being human, and we love the camaraderie that you have with the rest of your castmates.
Thank you.
It seems like you guys have a lot of fun. But speaking about episode 7, I wrote an article that all 4 of you guys should be in episode 7.
Yeah, come on.
I mean, the camaraderie, I think the laughter would be there, and of course, you know.
Needs to be funny.
It needs to be funny.
Needs to have some of the original humor.
Yeah. I think you guys would deliver that. It's
What? Thank you.
Yes.
I thank you. I'll do what I can. See what I can do.
I think we're at time for one more question.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yes. Hi. How's it going, girls?
Good.
What are you up to?
Over there.
3. Hi, guys.
With this season 3, we've seen your Josh become more of a bad
Yeah.
So we're going to see more of that. It's like he's getting more hardcore with this one. So we're going to see more of that in season 4.
I think I can't really tell you anything. I mean, I just had this conversation with Anna, so like, and I got like very broad strokes about what might happen to Josh in season 4. He goes in a direction I don't think you're going to expect. Yeah, he just becomes a dancer. That's what happens. Spoiler alert, not a dancer. No, in all seriousness, when we were going from season 2 to season 3, I had a lot of speculation about what would happen in that Mexican standoff, and how that would all work out. And I had 3 or 4 theories, and none of them were correct. And what the writers came up with was so much cooler than what I could have imagined. The fact that how that whole thing went down, the fact that I finally did end up killing him, and it only cured me. I loved that element. I thought that was so cool and did such amazing things for me emotionally, playing Josh. And I think what she told me, what happens, is so much cooler than anything I could have imagined. I promise you season 4 is going to be all holds barred badass. So I hope you all enjoy it. Like it's really going to be great, and I am. Just keep watching it.
No shirts.
Keep watching it. No shirtless season, just in general. The girls too. So an interesting show.
Get up now.
I've been like binge eating for like 6 months, guys. It's like time to do some significant health consciousness over in the Huntington realm. This trip? Yeah. This trip is gonna be bad. If you're like crying on an airplane, you're like, it's gonna be like, oh, it's Huntington. They're sobbing from our food. We did that to him. Thank you guys so much.